Hey everyone, we're part of Team Andromeda Tech, working in the Maryland Mesa program, here to present to you our design for this year.
Ever since smartphones have entered the game, phone theft has become more common and it's an epidemic everywhere. So we decided to design a case that is trackable via remote.
Yep.
So our product is targeted to anyone who has a smartphone and it gets stolen or if they lose it.
That's pretty much
You
it.
might wonder how our phone case works. Well, in our phone case, we have certain components that enable it to work. For example, we have our lithium-ion 2800 mAh battery pack, which charges our phone. Then we have resistors, and resistors reduce the output voltage. And the reason we have resistors was because our transceiver's max voltage was 3.6, and our battery pack's voltage was 3.9. So we decided to use resistors and brought down the voltage to 3.2. We also use the microcontroller to implement phone charging capabilities.
We use Arduino in our research and development phase to help qualify the signal frequency that would best allow communication between base unit and tracker. We also use the Arduino to find and solve any issues that we would have to take in consideration to make the best final product. The reason why we did not use the Arduino transceiver in our final product and we used a commercially available one was because our customers care about form factor. The commercially available tracker was much smaller and slimmer. However, use of Arduino transmitters in our initial process taught us the information and skills we needed to complete the project in the end.
Our team, before we started the project, talked with Mr. Letsom, who has experience with 3D printing and SolidWorks. Since most of our team members have taken SolidWorks class in JHU APL STEM Academy, we decided to make a phone case that we could 3D print.
We were really lucky to have a 3D printer available to us that we could use to print our case. After deciding to use the phone case, we had to find a way to incorporate Arduino. But we had to make sure our case was pleasing to the client by not making it too bulky.
So what we decided to go with was a commercially available, on-the-shelf micro transceiver with no patents, and we designed it to fit our own case. We then designed a case using SolidWorks and printed it.
We had to go through many prints and designs for the case before we got to a case that fit just well.
We did lots of research for our project. In the beginning, we Googled and read through articles to decide on whether we would work on natural disaster relief or mobile device theft prevention. When we figured out what we were going to do, we researched existing products to find out what phone trackers were not readily available on the market. After which, we watched dozens of hours of YouTube videos to learn how to use the Arduinos, how to communicate with them, and how to make them transfer data. Finally, we researched products on the market again so we could avoid creating something already on the market.
When we were brainstorming ideas for coming up with solutions to meet our clients' needs, we were thinking of using Tile, which is a small chip that you can attach to your keys or your backpack, and it helps you find lost stuff. We're planning to use a hand recognition case that senses the fingerprints and alerts the owner if it's not your fingerprints, a charging locker that not only secures the phone but also charges the phone, and finally a distance detector case which notifies the owner if it's moved a certain preset distance away from the owner itself. So when we were thinking of all these ideas, some of them was hard to incorporate Arduino into, and some of them we weren't able to do because of certain criteria, and we didn't have enough time to finish some of the ideas. So we finally decided on a case that not only alerts based on distance, but you can also track it via a handheld device.
The first step of the design process was to get a simple iPhone 6s Plus case into our SolidWorks sketch so we can use our training to design, cut, and extrude our way to our final design.
After our Arduino research and finally figuring out how it works, we started with the design part of our project.
For our first model, we just wanted to see if we can get our new tracker that we decided on into the case, but we quickly realized that some of the dimensions were not correct and the overall size was too small. We also realized that we most definitely were going to need a bigger battery to help power our micro Arduino for our longer period of time.
For the second design, we made it big enough to hold a 2800 mAh lithium-ion battery and the tracker as well. But some of the dimensions were still a little bit off, And we started coming up with new ideas of a sliding mechanism for the phone to make it easier for users to put their phone in the case. After printing the second design, we had to prepare to design the phone chart.
The whole point of this project was to create a device that helps keep track of phones if it's stolen or lost.
And the final design of our case is comprised of a micro transceiver, which is connected to the 2800 mAh power bank, which provides charge for the micro transceiver and in turn keeps your phone charged.
Also, for the battery, we have a charger port that helps keep the battery charged so you don't have to constantly have to change it out for a new one. And also you have an external remote here that will help beep when your phone's away from you.
With a working tracking case and a power bank that charges our phone, our product quite literally satisfies millions of people who are looking for ways to prevent cell phone theft. Back in 2016, a Kickstarter company had made $15,000 trying to eliminate the same problem that we were trying to fix today. And they created a case which has a handheld tracker and it beeps when an owner activates the tracker. There was also another product by the same company which was just a phone battery case and it raised about $200,000. So what we learned from this is that many people invest in these projects hoping to use these ideas to protect their phone, but they were not able to because they were cheated and this whole idea was just a scam. The failed products show us that there's potential for success and a chance for a big hit in the market because there's mainly a huge amount of demand for it. And we're not planning to market it because it requires a lot of tedious work. And since there are multiple phone markets, it will be difficult for us to make phone cases for every major phone companies. But however, we are open to make customized orders for people who might request it. And we hope that one day our idea inspires someone to create something similar and help people who are victims of cell phone theft. Even though we were pretty satisfied with our final product, there's always room for improvement. So the ideas we were thinking for improvement were incorporating a slimmer case so it's not as bulky and you can easily slip and slide into your pocket. We were thinking of adding a bigger battery pack to keep your phone charged for longer times. And finally, as we previously mentioned that this case is targeted for iOS users, we were thinking if we needed improvement or redesign, probably market it to Android devices like Samsung or LG.
Whole thing, right?
Nope. Our prototype design was made from ABS plastic. The hardware that we used were a transceiver, microcontroller, 2800 mAh lithium-ion battery that charges the phone and powers the transceiver.
The reason why we decided to use an on-the-shelf device was in order to make the phone case more aesthetic and package it in a way that customers would want to buy it.
We also used one 10K resistor and one 47 ohm resistor. The reason for using the resistor was to take down the voltage from 3.9 to 3.2 so that we wouldn't burn out the transceiver.